Big win in yesterday's game. Cubs best the Texas Rangers 7-0. Higashioka of the Texas Rangers gave up 5 stolen bases on the Cubs. The Cubs are running on them all night. Seiya Suzuki, PCA, John Birdie. They all definitely had their moments. So it was a very, very great game. Like I said, the Cubs won 7-0. The bats were alive. Michael Busch led the charge. Seiya Suzuki had some base knocks. Ian Happ had some base knocks. Hell, even PCA had a hit in yesterday's game, which caught me off surprise. But overall, great team win. Justin Steele was absolutely immaculate. Pitched 7 innings. He had 8 strikeouts. Did not give up a run. He really did a good job of limiting his walks. So hats off to the Cubs yesterday. Let's hope they can keep this ball rolling. Big win in yesterday's game. Cubs win 7-0 following that devastating loss to the San Diego Padres. The Cubs should have been on a 7-game win streak at the moment, but you can't win them all, and it's just nice to see a team like the Cubs rebound from a devastating loss this year, unlike previous years. If this was last year or in 23, I don't think the Cubs come out and win this game. I think the Cubs are a much more mature team this year, and they have the ability to win more ball games than what they did in previous seasons. Justin Steele dazzled yesterday. Seven innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, didn't give up a run. Really did a good job of limiting his walks, his pitch count. So that's what the Cubs need to see out of Justin Steele moving forward. We need to see our guy, because Justin Steele is also going for that contract extension. So it'd behoove of him to, pitch better this year for the Chicago Cubs, because he probably will end up getting that then. But Michael Busch had a really good bounce back game. Michael Busch hasn't been hitting the ball well, but you saw today he did hit the ball well. He had a triple, he had a double, drove in a few runs. So hats off to Michael Busch. I don't know what to say about Kyle Tucker other than the dude is just incredible. He should have hit a home run in yesterday's game, but the wind really knocked that down. So I'm not going to fault him on that one. But Kyle Tucker is awesome. The Cubs had 5 stolen bases in last night's game. John Birdie with 2. You had PCA with 1. You had Seiya Suzuki with 1. The Cubs are running all over the Texas Rangers catcher last night. Maybe because it was cold. Texas isn't used to that cold. So, maybe the Cubs are versing them at the right moment. But, hey, I'm going to take it. A win's a win, and let's go Cubs. But let's dive into the new game happening tonight. Cubs against Texas as well. We have Patrick Corbin against Jameson Taillon. Let's go. With that being said, welcome back to another episode of the Cubby Perspective. My name is Andrew. I'm a podcast for the fans, by the fans. I'm very excited to do this episode today. We have a lot of information. We have a big game today. We have J-Mo against Patrick Corbin. And let's dive into it. All right, so we have Jameson Taillon pitching on the mound today. He is making his 3rd appearance of the season. Jameson Taillon on the season has pitched 10 1/3 innings. He has a 1-1 record, 8 Ks, a 6.97 ERA, a 1.55 WHIP, and 1 quality start. Those numbers are inflated due to the poor start against the Diamondbacks in his first appearance of the season, so I wouldn't really look at those stats too much. J-Mo followed up his poor performance with a gem against the Athletics. 7 Ks, 3 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, and a quality start, and got the win. So don't think too much about that high inflated ERA as well as WHIP. That doesn't bother me one bit. Even though J-Mo did pitch a poor game against the Diamondbacks, he followed that up with a beautiful game against the Athletics, and that's all you could really ask for out of a pitcher. If they do have that bad game, come back out there and battle and compete the very next game and go out there and get us the W. That's all I could really ask for. And who knows, maybe J-Mo is catching the Texas Rangers at a really good time. Obviously, the Texas Rangers do not like the cold. Why would they? They're from Texas. So I think J-Mo is hitting up the Texas Rangers at the appropriate time, and I think we are going to see a very, very good game pitched out of him today, in my opinion. And it also helps out that the Texas Rangers bat are extremely cold to start off the year. Yes, they are 8-3, but that has been strictly from pitching. Their pitching has carried the Texas Rangers so far to start the season. You have guys like Corey Seager, you have guys like Marcus Semien, Jake Berger, Adolis Garcia, Wyatt Langford, who just have not gotten to going to start the season. Those are typically really good hitters, and hopefully the Cubs can get out of this series without those hitters actually, turning back into form. That would be nice. If Texas bats don't get it going, I could easily see the Cubs sweeping the Texas Rangers today, considering the Cubs offense has been absolutely blistering hot. We've been scoring on average about like 7 runs a game. So yeah, I think JMO is pitching against the Texas Rangers at the right time. Now, later on in the season, it might be a whole different ball game with that weather warmer, and they just have some innings behind them, so to get them going. But yeah, JMO up against the Texas Rangers tonight. I think Jamestown will end up doing very well. All right, so let's jump into Patrick Corbin, the pitcher going for Texas Rangers today. Patrick Corbin is making his MLB debut for the 2025 season. Patrick Corbin has struggled mightily the past few seasons, posting an ERA over 5.0 in the past 4 seasons. So Patrick Corbin has not been pitching well. Patrick Corbin really found his footing in Arizona in 2018. 2018, he pitched a very, very good season for the Diamondbacks. Jumped to Washington the following year, pitched extremely well in 2019 for Washington in their World Series winning season. Was rewarded with that good season with a massive contract, I believe like $130 million over the course of like 5 seasons or so. So Patrick Corbin did get paid out, but he has not lived up to the hype following that contract. After that 2019 season, you really saw a deep dive in Patrick Corbin's, stats and plays and all that. For reference, these are his numbers from the last season: 174 innings pitched, which is a pretty solid amount in the game today. 6-13 record, 139 Ks, 5.62 ERA, 1.50 WHIP, and 9 quality starts. With that 1.5 WHIP, Patrick Corbin's just walking far too many batters. He has some control issues. He's given up far too many base hits, which is leading to that inflated ERA of 5.62. So Patrick Corbin really wants to, come out today and pitch a good game against the Chicago Cubs. Number one, he's going to have to get ahead of the count. He's going to have to start off the counts with the strike. The Cubs have a very patient approach, so they're going to work the counts. They're not going to swing and miss a whole lot. But yes, if Patrick Corbin wants to pitch well today, he's going to have to limit those walks, especially the walks, and he's going to have to limit those base hits if he wants to do good. But expect Corbin to be more aggressive with his pitches. That's all. I think the Cubs have no issue getting to Patrick Corbin today. The Cubs have been rocking. I believe they've been scoring over 7 runs a game for quite some time now. Sorry, I can't talk. But yeah, look out for Patrick Corbin. Look out to see what he does. The first inning really will set the tempo for the rest of the game. So if the Cubs can hit Patrick Corbin early, expect Patrick Corbin to struggle mightily throughout the game. And I don't believe Texas is going to have that too long of a leash on him. So we'll just have to see. All right, so my picks to click for today's game are going to be Dansby Swanson, and you guys already know Kyle Tucker. Dansby Swanson has been performing extremely well against left-handed pitching so far with his early career with the Cubs. Dansby Swanson this year alone is batting .275, on base of .350, and a slugging of .450 against left-handed pitching this year. So Dansby Swanson is my first pick to click. I think Dansby Swanson will lead the Cubs charts today. I think you'll see him. Honestly, I think you'll see Dansby Swanson rope a homer into the left field bleachers. Excuse me, I'm having a hard time talking right now. But Dansby Swanson's ability to hit left-handed pitching has been a very key asset for for the Chicago Cubs. And let's hope that continues today because the Cubs are going to need them, and the Cubs have to get this win because those Brewers aren't losing. Those pesky Brewers, right? My second pick to click is Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker's 15 for 47. He's batting a 319 batting average, 458 on base, which is superstar level. That's Aaron Judge type numbers going on. 13 runs already, 5 homers, 15 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, 12 walks. Quite frankly, there's nothing really to say other than extend Kyle Tucker right now. Right now. You saw Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and the Toronto Blue Jays agree to a 14-year, $500 million contract. Why are we going to wait any longer to attempt to re-sign this guy? There has to be some movement on Kyle Tucker. I don't care if Kyle Tucker doesn't want to talk contract during the season. You get his damn freaking agent on the phone and you give that guy a mega contract. If Kyle Tucker was not on the Chicago Cubs right now, this team would look completely different. The landscape of this team would be tenfold different. That's how good of a player Kyle Tucker is. He's not just a very good player. He's a superstar player. He's one of the best players in the game, and the Cubs finally have their guy. Kyle Tucker is killing the ball. He's doing everything we brought him here to do. The Cubs gave up prime talent in Cam Smith with years of control for 1 year of control over Kyle Tucker. You don't trade Cam Smith and have absolutely zero whatever of wanting to re-sign Kyle Tucker. The deal should be done. There should be no reason why he's not a Cub lifelong right now. He's still really young. He's super effective, super good, does everything right, runs the bases extremely well, hits the ball for power, for average, has speed, phenomenal Gold Glove defense. What more can you ask? Bats in that prime, heart of the lineup at 2 and 3. Tom Ricketts, Shed Hoyer, Jason McLeod, Carter Hawkins, all you people, get on the phone with the agent and get a deal done because, it's going to be really, really bad here in Chicago if Kyle Tucker ends up leaving this team. That's going to be very disappointing. It's going to take the wind out of everyone's sails if that happens. So, Kyle Tucker is my second pitch to click. So, let's go, boys, and let's make us proud today. All right, this is one new segment that I think I'm going to start incorporating into all my videos. You guys let me know if you like this, if you want me to continue doing this. But after some research yesterday, I came up with a surefire parlay, in my opinion. With those left-handed pitching stats against Dansby Swanson to start the year, I'm going with Dansby Swanson to hit a homer. I think that's very plausible today. Dansby Swanson has been hitting the long ball to start the season. Already has 3 on the season, and he hits lefties extremely well. I don't think Patrick Corbin's a good pitcher, so I think Dansby Swanson gets to Patrick Corbin pretty early on. I think you're going to see Dansby Swanson be super aggressive at the plate today. You have Kyle Tucker with 2 total bases. I think that's a given. That should hit. If it doesn't, I'd be shocked. So Kyle Tucker with 2+ total bases. Hoerner with 2+ total bases. Nico Hoerner's been hitting the ball really well to start the season. I don't know if you can give that credit to that torpedo bat that's been kind of making a lot of news and noise around the league, but Nico Hoerner does use that torpedo bat. Nico Hoerner has been hitting the ball well. Nico Hoerner typically doesn't hit for power, so I wouldn't really expect the long ball out of him. But Nico Hoerner with 2+ total bases, I think that's also fairly easy, especially against that left-handed right-handed hitting matchup. So look out for Nico Hoerner for 2+ total bases, and I'm going to go with JMO over 4.5 strikeouts. I didn't want to go any higher than that because I still really respect this Texas lineup, and I think that they're a firecracker waiting to explode, really. I think any game now you can see Texas bats come alive. They just have too much lethal talent in that lineup. So I didn't want to get too cocky, So JMO with 4.5 strikeouts, which is very plausible, very doable. And his last game, he had 7 or 8 strikeouts or something like that. So that shouldn't be an issue for Jameson Tyone. But yeah, parlay for the day: Dansby Swanson homer, Kyle Tucker 2+ total bases, Nico Horner 2+ total bases, JMO with over 4.5 strikeouts. If you guys do end up putting this parlay in and this parlay hits, please give me a shout out on your social medias or whatnot for giving you guys this information. I actually think I might put this bet in myself. I don't typically bet. I don't really like to bet that much, but this bet right here seems like an absolute lock to me. So I'll see you guys later and see if this hits. But that wraps up the episode for today. I really appreciate you guys. If you guys can do me a favor, if you guys are enjoying the content that I'm dishing out, continue to like, continue to share it with your peers. Please subscribe. I am very active on Facebook at the moment. I plan on branching out to different social medias shortly. So look out for that. But yeah, primarily I'm only on YouTube and Facebook at the moment. So like I said, if you guys like what you're seeing, please like, please share, please comment, please subscribe, and tell your peers who you think could benefit from this information. But again, I really support the guy. I really am happy with the support I've been given. I have a very good surrounding over me, a lot of supporting people. So I'm having a blast. I'm having a lot of good time, and I'm going to continue to do the best that I possibly can. All right. Thank you guys. Go Cubs. Hopefully next video dropping later tonight after post game, we could celebrate a win together. We'll see.